my name's Christina and you're watching Proud Bookline. And today I'm going to do a super duper delayed video. But better late than never, right? Either way, today I'm going to do my favorite books out of 2016. Wow, time really flies by. But today I'm going to show you my 3 favorite series and 7 out of my favorite books that I read in 2016. So let's begin. So first off, Harry Potter. So if you watch my favorite books out of 2015, you'll know that Harry Potter was on that list too. But I didn't finish Harry Potter until 2016 in January. So I have to mention it on this list as well, because my favorite out of all the books is probably Deathly Hallows. I just absolutely loved it, and I love the movies, and I just love Harry Potter. I'm so happy that I read it. If you haven't read Harry Potter yet, don't be ashamed and don't feel like you're too old or too young or too anything, because Hogwarts is always your home, whether you be 5 or 55, whether you're Swedish or if you're British or American or whatever. Like, Hogwarts is just always there to greet you, no matter what. If you don't know what Harry Potter is about, I'll be very confused. And I'm not even going to give you a synopsis on Harry Potter because that's common knowledge. And how can you not know what Harry Potter is about if you're on BookTube? Like, honestly, that's like an accomplishment. But yeah, the Harry Potter books were definitely some of my favorite books that I read in 2016. So next up, I finished PJO, which is Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And I'm really happy that I did, because oh my god, it was so much fun. And they were so entertaining. And the chapter names, I live for the chapter names. My favorites were definitely the last 2, the Battle of the Labyrinth and the Last Olympian. But I really enjoyed all of them. If you don't know what the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series is about, I'm also confused, because it's like a BookTube classic. But yeah, it's about a boy named Percy Jackson, and he's a demigod. And being a demigod is way harder than it sounds. Like, way harder. But yeah, it's really amazing, and it's such a fun read. Like, all of the books, you just fly through them, and you have so much fun reading them. As a kid, I used to love Greek mythology, so reading about Greek mythology in this way was super duper entertaining, and it just brought me back. Even though I read it for the first time 2016, it brought me back to when I was like 11 and 12. This series was definitely one of my favorite reads this 2016. Lastly, of the series then, I read The Hunger Games. I know, I have been catching up on some BookTube classics this year, or this past year. I have yet to watch the Mockingjay movies, but before reading this series, I did watch both The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I still really love the books. The books have so much more, I would say, moral and political background, I guess. I just think that in the movie sometimes it got a bit too much Peeta/Gale, and the books portray the fight for a better society. I just enjoyed the books in another way. But yeah, if you don't know what The Hunger Games is about, like, where have you been? Seriously, these 3 series that I'm talking about now, or have talked about, they're like BookTube classics. You know them, even if you haven't read them or seen any of the adaptations. We don't talk about the Percy Jackson adaptation though. But you know them, and you know how people feel, and you know what they're about. So I'm not going to give you a synopsis on the Hunger Games trilogy. I'm just going to say that I really liked it, and I'm really happy that I read it in 2016, and it was one of my favorite reads. Here comes the books. I guess on 7th place, but I don't really have a replacement is Gemina by Jake Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. If you watched my favorite books out of 2015, you know I had Illuminate on there, and Gemina is the sequel. And yeah, it was just as good as Illuminate. I absolutely loved it. And if you don't know Gemina or the Illuminate Files, because it's a series, it's pretty much epic sci-fi space adventures, and it's not told in the normal format, but in like pictures and emails and DMs and instant messages. Like, it just told in such a unique and really extraordinary way, and the plot are really cool and intriguing, and I just absolutely love the books, and I'm happy that I read it this year, and it was one of my favorite books of 2016. Next up, surprisingly enough, I have a contemporary, and it's The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I'm not sure how you pronounce it correctly, but this book, guys, it's such an amazing, diverse, and just loving story. It's about a girl that's being deported to Jamaica, and she's Jamaican, and then it's about an Asian boy trying to, well, live up to his parents' expectations because they want him to go to a specific college, and he's going to go to an interview to get into that college and get a doctor's degree, but he's not really sure what he wants. So these two people meet, and the book takes place during a day, and you'll fly through it. And it's pretty much about love at first sight. And I know that love at first sight sounds cheesy, and I thought it was going to be cheesy, but it wasn't. Like, it was a tiny bit, but it was so much more than just a love story. And it's just such an amazing, diverse, wonderful book. And I love the fact that the chapters are really short and you fly through them. And I love that we also got chapters from smaller characters like Irene. It was just amazing, and I absolutely love this book. If you haven't read it yet, please do. It was definitely one of my favorite books of 2016. Next up, I have Life Without Ed, and this is actually considered a self-help book, and it's by Jenny Schaefer, or however her last name is pronounced. I don't really know. And it's a book about eating disorders, and yeah, I thought it was really informative, and it's just a really amazing book, and it's perfect to anyone suffering from an eating disorder, or if you know somebody who's suffering from an eating disorder, or if you just want to know more about eating disorders, this is the book for you. It was great. It's pretty short, and it's written in a good way that you'll be able to understand, and you'll be able to get what Jenny is talking about very easily. And I just thought it was a very good book about eating disorders, and I think that to a lot of people, including myself, this book has and will make a difference. So yeah, I'm really happy that I read it in 2016, and it was definitely one of my favorite books out of 2016. Next up, I have The Archived, which, if you don't know, means a lot to me because it was the book that Jessie sent me for Christmas. If you haven't seen my unwrapping of the book, I'll link that video down below. I also have a book talk in this book where I describe my feelings, and I just really enjoyed it. Because Mackenzie Bishop, who's a keeper, which pretty much means she's a librarian of the dead, she's not the typical main character, and I really loved her, and I love the world that Victoria Schwab has created within the archive. It is really amazing, and it's so complex. I just absolutely love the archive, and if you haven't read it yet, you should do that. But it was definitely one of my favorite books of 2016. So my third favorite, I guess, is Made You Up by Francesca Sapia. Or Francesca Sapia. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but this book also means a lot to me. It was the book that I chose or got after being one of the 10 lucky winners of Emma from Emma Books Mental Health Awareness giveaway. If you don't know, she had a week where she did videos promoting mental health for a whole entire week, and she hosted a giveaway, and there were 10 winners, and I was one of the lucky ones, and we all got to choose a book with mental health featured, and I chose Made You Up by Francesca Sapia, and I'm so happy that I did. If you guys don't know, it's about Alexandra Ridmont, and she suffers from schizophrenia, and she has visual hallucinations, which pretty much means that she sees things that aren't real. So this book is pretty much about Alexandra, or Alex, figuring out what's real and what's not, and just figuring out her place in life and what life is to her. And the characters in this book is amazing, the portrayal is also amazing, and I just absolutely love this book, and I'm so thankful and grateful that I was one of the winners and that I got to read this amazing book, because it is most definitely one of my favorite books out of 2016. So my second favorite is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, and if you've read this book, you know why it's my second favorite. I have a full book talk on this book, I'll link it down below, but this book was totally amazing. If you haven't read any of Cassie Clare's books yet, what are you doing on BookTube? I'm sorry, but you need to fix that ASAP. I won't tell you guys about the synopsis of this one because you need to read other books to be able to read this one. But it takes place in LA, which I thought was really amazing, and I love all of the characters, and I really appreciate that they already know of the shadow world, and Cassie is improving with every book she writes, and I really think that this was one of the strongest books that she has written so far. I can't say that it was my favorite book because I don't feel invested enough within the characters yet, but it was definitely the best first book that she's written in the series, and I cannot wait until I get my hands on Lord of Shadows because I need that book ASAP. But yeah, it was most definitely one of my favorite books out of 2016. Yeah. And finally, my favorite book out of 2016, or rather my favorite book that I read in 2016 was/is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Another contemporary. Wow. I really loved this book, and I still love this book. I read it for the biannual Bibliothon during the summer because it was the booktuber recommends book and Emma recommended it, and I'm so happy and grateful and thankful that I did. If you don't know about this book, it's about this boy named Aaron, and he's living in New York, and he has a pretty okay life. He has an amazing girlfriend, and sure, there was this issue with his dad. He actually committed suicide, but it's not too bad for Aaron, and he's coping pretty well, and he's pretty happy. At least he thinks so. Or is he really happy? And who really is Aaron? And when a new guy moves in the neighborhood, Aaron starts to question pretty much everything he knows about himself and what's true and what happiness really is. So I guess this book is about finding yourself and finding happiness, and I just absolutely love it so much. Adam Silvera is an amazing author, and this is also an own voices book, which makes it even more amazing, and it just makes every statement and every quote and every sentence more powerful, at least to me, because I could really relate to a lot of things that Aaron is thinking and feeling, and I just absolutely love this book. And if you haven't read it yet, please do, because this book really deserves more love, recognition, and appreciation. It was my favorite book out of 2016. So yeah, I guess that was my favorite books out of 2016. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's super duper late, but I'm very indecisive. But I'm so thankful for all the support and all the love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day / night / whatever pod it is for you guys. Bye! and this is also an oin